Welcome to class. We're going to talk today about another way that partisanship, or the loyalty to your political party and the desire to make sure your party maintains power, affects politics. And this is a very important topic. It's very controversial. Both parties take advantage of this process to give themselves an advantage in elections. So what we're talking about is redistricting. And redistricting is necessary because every 10 years the United States does a census. The census is when we go door to door and we count up how many people we have and where they live. The reason that the Constitution requires a census every 10 years is because every person has to be represented in Congress. And every square inch of the country is divided up into these different districts, different zones or areas. And each district has one member of Congress that represents all of the people from that district. So, larger states like California have more districts and therefore more representatives. It's because they have more people. California is the most populated state, and they have, as a result, 53 different congressional districts and 53 different members in the House of Representatives. North Carolina has 13 different congressional districts. We are about, I guess that makes us a quarter of the population of California. So we have about 1/4 of the number of districts. So we have 13 districts in North Carolina and 13 different members of the House of Representatives that represent those districts. So the question is, how do you divide up the state? How do you figure out what people go into what district? And that becomes very controversial and very political. The reason it's controversial and political is that the people who draw the lines, the people who create the districts every 10 years, are the state legislators. So we have elected officials, Republicans and Democrats, who do the work of dividing up the state and deciding what those district lines are going to look like. Well, you can imagine that if you're drawing the district lines and your party is in power, let's say you're a Republican and you're drawing the district lines, if you can do something that's going to give Republicans an advantage, you might want to do that. Similarly, the Democrats, when they control the state legislature and they control the redistricting process, they then go ahead and give themselves as much advantage as possible so that they're more likely to win elections more easily and more likely to retain control so they can pass the policies that they want to pass. So that's the idea. The census happens every 10 years. That counts up how many people we have. We have to do that because what happens is if more people are moving to North Carolina, and people are moving out of Texas, then Texas might lose a representative and North Carolina might gain one. So we're fixed at 435 representatives, but every 10 years there's some change in terms of which states get an extra representative and some states actually lose a representative because their population has either increased or decreased. And that's why you have to redraw those district lines every 10 years. So let me give you an example to sort of show you how this can work. We have here a mythical state. We'll call this North Carolina, but obviously it doesn't look like North Carolina. I have 18 different people. Each dot represents a person. So 18 people in the state. And red dots are Republicans, blue dots are Democrats. There are 9 of each. So we have 9 Republicans and 9 Democrats. So let's take a look at how Republicans might draw the district lines to give themselves an advantage. It's evenly divided, right? The state is split down the middle. 50% Democrat, 50% Republican. Let's see what they're going to need to do. They're going to have to keep 6 people in each district because you have to have roughly equal numbers of people in each district in order to maintain one person, one vote. So, 6 people in each district. So let's do a district right here. There's one district. Drawn by the Republicans, you have 4 Republicans and 2 Democrats. Okay? The Republicans are going to draw another district right here. One, two, three, four, five, 6 Democrats in that district. It's all Democratic. There's no Republicans there at all. And then the 3rd district is everything else. Okay? So the 3rd district is going to be 5-1, a very strong Republican district. What they've done is they've given away 1 district to the Democrats and said, we're not going to be competitive there. But they've also given themselves a strong advantage in 2 other districts, meaning that even though the population is 50-50, half Democrat, half Republican, it's pretty easy for Republicans to maintain a constant majority in elections. The Republicans are going to have this district and this district, so that's 2 to the 1 district held by Democrats. Okay, let's take a look now at how Democrats might draw these district lines if they were in power. And remember, both parties do this. It's just whatever they can do to maintain power. So, Democrats could easily say, okay, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Republicans and 1 Democrat. We're going to give up that district right there. And then we're going to include this Democrat in this district. It's going to go wrap around all like this. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Democrats. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 Republicans. And then you have this district over here, which again has 4 Democrats and 2 Republicans. So 2 can play at that game. Both parties play games with drawing the maps and gerrymandering and redistricting. It happens every 10 years. Republicans controlled the redistricting process in North Carolina in 2010 after that census. And so you saw a major change in the maps that led many Democrats to lose their seats in Congress, and they were replaced by Republicans. So even though the population hadn't changed, it was a major change in representation. Take Virginia as an example. In Virginia, President Obama won the state in the 2012 election, but several Democrats lost their seats in the House of Representatives. And nationally, although Obama won the popular vote substantially, there are more congressional districts that voted for the Republican candidate, Mitt Romney, than voted for Barack Obama. So, interesting the way that those lines are drawn. It means that population centers are often, like urban areas, cities, which are largely Democratic, are often sliced up by Republicans when they're in charge. Democrats try to do the same thing to rural areas. That's how redistricting affects our elections. It's very damaging, in my view, and we need to get away from that kind of politics. All right, have a good day.